Utah's athletic director, the man who said he was not proud to be in the Big 12, now represents the Big 12 on the College Football Playoff Committee. Great for Utah. Disastrous for BYU. This is an emergency Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday, everybody, or is it? Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Shocking news out of the College Football Playoff Committee. This man, Mack Rhoades, no longer the chair, taking a leave of absence for personal reasons. And look, I have drugged Mack Rhoades through the mud the last few days. When I was at Baylor, he was never very nice to me. I never really had great things to say about him. He has a now flailing football program. I've heard from multiple people that he is never at practice, but way too hands-on when it comes to game time, and literally hands-on. So let's start there. I'll get to Mark Harlan. Very briefly, I'm going to give you the context of how Mark Harlan, the Utah athletic director, got onto the playoff committee in the middle of the year. If you hit subscribe, I get to keep my job. It started with Mack Rhoades in September, apparently, grabbing a player, allegedly, Michael Trigg, the best player on Baylor's roster, and saying, why the F, expletive, cussing out, why the F are you wearing that? He's wearing like a yellow long sleeve shirt underneath his jersey. Trigger's like, I've been hurt. I'm wearing a compression sleeve because I have a brace on. Like, what? Then Mack, after the game, a couple people at Outkick reported, put his hands on the neck of a coach where it was visible to fans. Just bad deal. So then, wake of that, investigation happens, and Tuesday goes off without a hitch. Mack Rhoades goes up there and says a bunch of BS about how, we thought the BYU should be dropped 5 spots. And this leave of absence, 6 days after the initial reporting per Trey Wallace about 2 different altercations, is completely separate of the 2 altercations. How much of an idiot can you be? A new set of allegations were presented on November 10th, he says, leading to the decision. Mack Rhoades has stepped down from the CFP chair. Worse news than that, Hunter Yurachek, the Arkansas athletic director, is the new CFP chair. So one guy, Mack Rhoades, who couldn't direct the athletics at his school. The other guy, Hunter Yurachek, who can't direct the athletics at his school. But the worst of these 2 evils is the worst who's in the SEC. I digress. I called multiple sources today. Allegedly, each is corroborated. Possible issues when it comes to Mack Rhoades with the bottle and extramarital stuff. Like I can tell you this, if those things are true, if they are true, and multiple sources corroborated to me today that's what's going on right now. It sucks for Mack Rhoades. I think we should all be praying for Mack Rhoades, but he is not in a place to lead the athletics department at Baylor University or lead the College Football Playoff Committee. And on top of that, when we get the chance to, at the top of college athletics, showcase our conference as the guy getting to represent the playoff committee, and then that guy is an embarrassment to the Big 12, an embarrassment to Baylor that's already scandal-ridden, an embarrassment to the committee and has to step down. What are we doing? We need good PR. Somebody asked me today, do you think Brett Yormark's upset? Yeah, I do. This is a terrible look for the Big 12 conference. And what this may be is a bad look at any way you slice it for BYU. We just took the board chair who represents the Big 12 that can sit in the room and say, hey, Utah deserves to be 13. I'm the head of this committee. Utah deserves to be 13. Same guy who's been replaced has now been replaced with an SEC athletic director. Genuinely, they could go in the room this weekend with Mark Harlan in there and say, yeah, we're going to move Utah to 15. Why? Well, the one factor that was pushing us back on that had Utah so highly ranked is now out of the room. We just think as a collective at this point, without that factor in the way, Utah is correctly ranked at 15. They could do that, man. They can. This is not good news for the Big 12. And the guy in there who represents now the Big 12 conference is Mark Harlan. Mark Harlan, the Utah athletic director, went to the podium last year. Kyle Whittingham threw the chair. Harlan took the podium and says, we were proud to be in the Big 12. Tonight, we are not. This game was stolen from him. He showed his butt in front of the entire conference. And no one dislikes BYU more, it seems, than Mark Harlan. And the fate of the conference, the fate of BYU, the fate of getting 3 teams in, lies in the hands of a guy who will sit with the committee and say, well, I, unlike the rest of you, saw BYU play live and I wasn't that impressed. Utah missed 3 fourth downs. Otherwise, they win that game by double digits. Can I not convince you that given that, the game should have been won by double digits by Utah, therefore BYU somehow lost? See, look what I've painted here. That's that. The guy that has that power is now on the committee. The guy that could fully, oh, well, he's too level-headed. Level-headed? He wouldn't abuse that power. Abuse the power? He was on the field with the referees in the middle. He was the 12th defender for Utah against BYU last year in Salt Lake City. That's the guy that you trust all of a sudden to be professional? I don't know, man. Look, if you're Brett Yormark listening to this, you're like, yeah, I know Mark. He's going to do a great job. Maybe. But what I know of Mark Harlan is a guy that I watched with my own 2 eyes march onto the football field with time remaining. You know? That doesn't look good. It's not good for us. It's not good for the Big 12. Kirby Hocutt, yeah, great, awesome. Put Texas Tech's athletic director on there. Let him fight for us. Can I trust that Mark Harlan will fight for the betterment of the conference? I cannot trust that. I can't. Can I trust the SEC guy who's now leading the way, who's not even a good leader in his own athletic department, Hunter Yurachek in Arkansas, who's about to be fired himself? Can I trust that guy is going to be good? No. Another asshat. We went from one clown to one asshat. And that gets you nowhere good. I am not happy with the way this is playing out. Mack Rhoades can't keep his ish in order, can't keep his personal life in order. Multiple sources, man, came to me and said, yeah, that's what it is. And it just became too much. And look, there's a possibility none of that's true, and Mack's family dog died. I don't think the family dog died. I hope he gets help. I hope he gets help. For his sake, for Baylor's sake. I'm a Baylor guy, graduated from Baylor. I'm sorry, BYU. Yeah, look, if you're a BYU fan and you're scared of this, I would be scared as well. Your number one adversary just got elected to the committee that decides your fate. I wouldn't want that if you're Utah. That's pretty good. I like that. Not great, man. Not great. Today's emergency show is brought to you by Supply House. Supply House is exactly where I go. Supply House is exactly where I go when I need new parts for my home. Opening whistle blows on a new repair. Go to Supply House. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Need parts for a project? Supply House has next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. Join the free Trade Master program today. Score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHCollege5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. Supply House. I love Baylor. It's my dream school. Some days are just embarrassing to be Baylor. Today's one of those days. Not looking at anybody specific. Not pitching this to anyone at all. But in general, men, women, children, stay off the bottle. And stay off the people who aren't in your marriage. That would be good advice, if I could give that. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.